You take Graham Mertz out of the transfer portal last year, his career highs across the board, yards per attempt, completion percentage, and a career low in interceptions. I'm curious, how'd you get him to play to the rate that he did last year, and what are some areas of improvement you're still looking for?
Well, I think Graham, first of all, Graham's got character. You know, he cares. He's a worker. He's one of the more fun players to coach I've had in my career. You know, he matches your level of preparedness. I mean, you show up to the meeting and you're coaching Graham Mertz, you better be ready to go, right? And I think he learned a lot while he was at Wisconsin. I can still remember having a conversation with Paul Christ about Graham, and he had ups and downs. I think he had some really great days, and then he had some really tough days. And I think some of that maturity helped him reset, recenter, and approach our team a little bit different way. So Ryan O'Hara is our quarterback coach and analyst, and he does a phenomenal job. You know, he works tirelessly, and he's done a great job. He did a great job with Anthony, and then certainly Graham hit the ground running. But I would tell you, it's a product of the work. Graham, he earned every bit of it. And I'm going to tell you, he earned the respect of his teammates with the way that he competed last year. He's primed to have a breakout year here. It's a big deal for Graham to be back to play quarterback for our team.
Graham, who's some of your threats on the outside that are going to make some plays for you? You have a pretty good tight end as well. Is that correct?
Yeah. I think on the outside, we got a lot of great young guys coming back, young guys going in their second year. I mean, I could talk about the receiver room all day, but we also brought in 2 transfer receivers, Chimere Dike from Wisconsin and then Elijah Badger from Arizona State. Great experienced players, know what it takes to win, and they've shown that so far. Great leaders too, so I'm excited about that room, man.
Front row. Hey, Graham. Michael Cobble from Baton Rouge. Billy was just in here, and he talked about the importance, I guess, of having the right guys in the room at the time. And kind of what he said that stuck with me was everybody on the team now picked us, and we picked them. Do you see that cohesion now and kind of everybody pulling in the same direction? 100%.
I mean, I think that you see complete buy-in, and that's, as a team, that's what you need. And you need players leading, and you need buy-in, like I just said. So I think that this team we got right now, they're passionate, they care about each other, they want to win, and they're fully bought into not only just the scheme, but also Coach Napier's vision for what this team should be.
Second row.
He hasn't been there with y'all long to buy in, but Jason Zandamela came over from USC as a transfer. What have you seen from him early in his career?
He's done a great job. I think he's in a different lift group than me in the morning, but I'm sure he can throw some weight around. And I know I've heard from not only players but coaches that he's doing a fantastic job of learning the playbook, putting in the extra reps, and growing not only as a player but a person. So he's done a great job.
Fourth row.
Graham, Rob Brown, SEC Sideline Sports Network, and GatorbaitMedia.com is part of us. Looking back a year ago at this time, you'd come down from Wisconsin. Yeah. How much have you grown physically, mentally, and what do you think about the SEC after 1 year and then looking at this coming schedule?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to start with just the SEC portion of that. I think the cool part about this wonderful league is just across the board the amount of passion that fan bases have, that players have, that coaches have for their university. I think that you go anywhere you go and you walk into a facility, or for me a stadium, an opposing team stadium, you can feel that. You can feel the history and the passion, and your only option is to respect it. And then what was the first part of that? I kind of missed the first part of your question. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, I think that for me, as a person, coming down to Florida and experiencing something new, something different than Wisconsin was big for me. And it kind of pushed me into that area where I had to grow as a person, whether that's on the field, off the field, in my faith, in my family, all these different areas. You spend a lot more time kind of by yourself when you're the newbie and the older person. So for me, it was big time. What was the last part of the question? Sorry. The schedule? No, you can't. I mean, this game, you can. I'm always the type. I always go. You can simplify this game. It comes down to execution. That's all it is. If this team executes better than we do, they're going to win. If we execute better than they do, we're going to win. So I think anytime you can simplify this game and just realize that myself and my entire team, these coaches, we're so blessed to put on this uniform, play this game. So every time we have an opportunity to go play it, it's my job to respect that opportunity. So for me, people can call it whatever they want, label whatever they want, but for us, we're just excited for the opportunity.
Stay on the third row. Tyler Shaw with KBTX and College Station. Graham, how would you rate, when you look around the league, kind of the level of quarterback play right now in the SEC? And as a competitor, does that kind of help you push yourself?
I spent a weekend with a bunch of them at the Manning camp, and I think not only are they they're great quarterbacks, but they're great people. And I think that's a cool thing that we now have a group chat with every quarterback that was there, and we're keeping up with each other, chopping it up. But for me, I think that the entire SEC, each team's got a quarterback that can rip it. And that's the kind of game that you want to play in. So it'll be a fun year.
Right side on the aisle.
Graham, Corey LeBounty, Mobile, Alabama, WNSP 105.5. To have that graduate patch on your jersey this upcoming season, what does that mean to you? And the second part of it, the question is the fact that you have Central Florida, Florida State, and Miami all within one state, the rivalry there with those three schools being in your state.
Yeah, for me, transferring and might have taken a little bit longer to graduate just because of all the credits and everything. So for me, it's just a blessing to finally get there and graduate from a place like Florida with rich history, great school, great education. And then the state of Florida, the thing you see there which has been fun for me, kind of getting somewhere new and experiencing it, is just, like I said earlier, but the passion of the people in Florida for the university is truly special. So the fans do not like each other. I've fully embraced that, fully learned that. But, it's been fun.
Left side, fourth row.
Kevin Bax, ESPN, the ticket out of Montgomery. Graham, as you've had a couple of years of experience now, how do you feel like your game has developed over these years?
Yeah, I'd say just overall knowledge of the game. And I think you go through phases as a quarterback of your process of learning. And it kind of starts with, okay, I get to college, I learn the playbook. After I learn the playbook, then I really start focusing on defenses. After I learn about defenses, how to attack the defenses, then you go back to your playbook. So I think for me, my game has evolved to the point where I've seen a lot of defenses. I've seen a lot of fronts, coverages, pressures, to where I don't feel surprised when I see stuff. It's almost like a puzzle. Like, I've seen Ohio State ran that in 2021 in the third quarter. Like, I can remember that because I lived all those experiences. So for me, the cool thing is being able to utilize that and just being able to recall plays and instances that came up where I can help teach guys they might have ran that coverage, but here's another way to run it, and show them a clip and stuff like that. So it's freed me up to teach a little bit more when you're a 60-year senior playing college football.
All right, good stuff there from Graham Mertz. And look, he mentions the talent that he has at wide receiver this season. And we all know what Trey Wilson can do, and hopefully the more he can do going into his second season. But what does a receiver like Elijah Badger and Chimere Dike mean to him? You're coming from the transfer portal. You lose Ricky Pearsall, and that will hurt. But Badger's a different type of wide receiver coming in. Just raw power and explosion that he can play with. Pearsall would be the guy in the right place, and his route running exceptional, and the deceptive speed that would get defenders. But Badger offers a bit more, as probably as far as the catch and run ability. DK offers reliability for Mertz, going back to their time at Wisconsin, and from conversations I've had, they are excited what they have seen from him and are seeing from Chimere Dike and that relationship with Graham Mertz. They believe it's really, really going to pay off on the field. And then see what he can offer from the slot. And I think he's going to be playing that slot role a whole lot. Trey moving around, but look for DK to make a lot of his production in the slot. And then add the experience of Khalil Jackson coming back, second years of Gene and Mizell, and to another player It needs to come from that group. Jackson, Gene, Mizell. So somebody needs to step up. Somebody needs to step up in that group. But the player being mentioned the most behind the scenes on the inside is Marcus Burt. And I know he's a player that fans have kind of been waiting on, kind of having him for a breakout season the last couple of years. And we've been waiting on that name, but the work has never really been mentioned until now. The potential inside, I'm hearing a whole lot more than I ever heard about Marcus Burt heading in to the 2024 season. Doesn't mean it will play out. We know we hear names all the time that just don't ever pan out. The behind-the-scenes stars that we just never see on Saturdays. But Marcus Burt right now is getting that recognition. Hopefully we see it translate on the field. But the biggest thing in all of this, though, is really Mertz returning for his second season at Florida, second season in the offense, working more with Napier, working more with Callaway and Ryan O'Hara, taking everything he learned last season, working more with those coaches, and it really should pay off. The concentration last season for Graham Mertz was to take care of the ball, and that's now turned into pushing the ball down the field. Napier went on to say there in Dallas, quote, tempered aggression. That's what they're looking for from Mertz. Took care of the football last year. Next step, take advantage of the situations down the field that he didn't last season. When they go back and look at the film, they see it. It is there. It is there in the offense. Billy Napier's offense, let's not take last year as an overall example. They want to get the ball down the field. They have been able to get the ball down the field. Not last year. It is there. It was there. They need Graham Mertz to take the next step, take his evolution in this offense, get the ball down the field. Tempered aggression.